This is part 2 of a video series around toxic masculinity. And I left off last video, what do you do as a parent if your kid is violent and hitting you, hitting other siblings in the home, getting in lots of fights? Well, what I think you do is you start by backing up and thinking back to that child's life, that child's history with you and the experiences that that young boy has had, and thinking of why is he so angry? Why is he so sad? Why is he so hurt? Why is he so scared? Because all those behaviors, the fighting or the joining gangs or becoming involved in the justice system, or drugs, alcohol, heavy use like that, trouble at school, fighting, outbursts, yelling, screaming, intimidating, scary behaviors, that all stems to that young boy's hurting on the inside. That young boy is experiencing some emotional pain. Because if we're taught at a young age that men don't cry, that men don't feel emotions, that fighting is just boys being boys, if that's taught to you, if you absorb that growing up, that's how you're gonna handle yourself when you're experiencing emotional pain. When I think back to my early childhood and getting in fights in the schoolyard or at school, playing sports such as hockey and getting in fights in hockey, or and then as I got older and in my late teens and early 20s, drinking a lot, using drugs, getting in fights, partying, pursuing, like picking up women in bars and stuff like that. Like, where did that all come from childhood to early 20s? It became from this idea that to be a man, I had to like be powerful. I couldn't show emotions. I couldn't be weak. Couldn't show that I was hurting on the inside. But if I look back to my early childhood and all my way up to teens and to early 20s, I was hurting on the inside. I was sad. I wasn't letting that out. I wasn't crying. I was having anxiety. I was feeling unsure about myself. I was feeling not confident. I was trying to find my place. I was trying to be somebody. I was trying to find my identity. And all those things added up to a really rough time. So to back up to dealing with your kids, that's the root of it, I think. And that's just my story. But I've worked and foster parented over 100 male youth, probably 200, maybe 250, 300, who knows, but like a lot of male youth are aggressive, who like will hit you if they don't like what you have to say, that get in fights constantly, that are scary, that are violent. The tools and skills that I developed and help these male youth to change their behaviors, to really drastically change their lives, was at the core of it was this emotional pain that they were hurting. Some rough stuff had happened to them that was unresolved. They were told or taught that they couldn't cry. That society taught to that through videos or movies or through music. Everything just shows you that to be a man, you gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, you fight, all this stuff. And it's just so wrong. And it just really causes a lot of problem with male youth. So if you have a son and you're seeing all those issues, you gotta deal with it in a way where you're not lashing out at them or criticizing them, or you're trying to figure out ways to introduce them to positive role models, male role models who will talk about emotions, who will talk about being sensitive, using empathy, things like that. That is the answer. So I'm going to stop here. That's part 2. I will do a part